So today we here with 4sevyn, one of the most legendary producers in the city right now. Like, I've been hearing your name for a minute. The first time I heard your name, I was at the Mandem show. You know, we here at their building today.
Shout out the Mandem Show.
Man like Vegas and Gutsy
Yes.
and all our affiliates. Man, we're just talking about like, yo, what new music is out? And Tia Taylor said, yo, 4sevyn just dropped a new tape.
Shout out to you, man.
She was giving the resume like a bunch of people you produce for. I'm like, word? How I don't know who this is? So I think like maybe a month later, I ended up at the Players Ball, and that's when I met you there. You definitely get a lot of love out here, you know.
Appreciate it, man. I'm trying. I'm doing a little something.
As far as I know, like you doing some things, you know.
Shout out the Players Ball too. Shout out Twy. It was an amazing event. Shout out RPay. Shout out the whole crew there, Scotian Bank, Glossy, everybody that was there, man. It was a dope event, and I appreciate y'all for the nomination. Came up just short, but hopefully this year's Player Ball I'll come out with that Producer of the Year award. But shout out to everybody that was involved with that. That was dope. I mean, I felt like I had a underwhelming year compared to my previous years. But I still did my thing last year. But yeah, I hope that I could just, keep the momentum pushing. I haven't really released too tough. I've kind of been on the business tip as I usually am, but this year hoping to do a few things.
All right. So first thing you said, like you're more on the business side of things right now. Like, what are you getting in place currently? Is it like you're publishing?
Well, really, I've told this to all my managers, I've always wanted to be like a Jay-Z in terms of like the music is the foundation, but I have artists, different business ventures, different stuff, and I'm the brand more so than not, and the music is just there. Fashion, everything that I'm into. So, I'm got a lot of stuff with AI that I'm doing, a lot of business ventures with that, developing stuff as well. I have artists I'm developing. Yeah, just kind of handling the business, starting my own label, getting deals, which I've been doing for a minute. But yeah, just really setting up my artists, really just kind of taking a backseat, not a backseat, but kind of not being so at the forefront and letting, developing my artists and really working with them.
So you said you got artists that you're working with. Like, are they artists signed to you, or just artists that you're just locked in with?
It's kind of both. Like Creek Baby KT is actually my artist signed to me. I got another artist out of LA, Don Jella. He signed to me. And then it's kind of a situational based thing to where like if I'm in a position where I could the label or if I have a label situation they're looking at, hey, who is your artist? That's when I kind of like, yo, my artist is this person, this person. But it's more so a close working relationship. Um, TRG franchise, a peer billionaire, um, Block Boy Twitch, Her Baby Peppa, like a bunch of artists that I work with closely. Stray Cash, free my boy. Yeah, those are just some of the artists that I'm working with now closely. But really everyone in the city, but closely everyone I just named, John C too, you know, um, rah rah. Like if I forgot a name, forgive me. But yeah, there's a lot.
You dropped the Lost Files tape, right? I'm gonna assume that the reason you dropped that is because you were sitting on a bunch of unreleased placements and you just felt like I gotta put something out to let the people them see what I got going on. Was it a situation like that?
Kind of. I mean, I felt like I didn't put anything out in a minute, and I've released some big records in the past that did crazy numbers. So I felt like I take momentum very serious, and I felt like I needed to just put something out there because I didn't have a project out. It was just a bunch of singles doing big numbers, but no project. So I was just listening to my Dropbox one day, and I was like, "Yo, I could put all these songs out, and they'll do numbers." I had Roni in there, Peppa in there. I had who else did I have in there? I had my boy THF Law from Chicago. Shout out my boy Law, Baby Thug from Chicago, Crystal Kills from Black Ink. I had a bunch of mans, LP Morrissey. So I was just like, yo, like these are all hot ass tracks. And I'm someone that always is like, oh, let me wait till we put out a video or let me wait till we do this. But I was like, yo, let me just put this out and see what it does, and then put it out. And like sometimes I underestimate myself, like, oh, I put this out, this shit's gonna be a dud. But like I be having to remember I actually have supporters and fans that stream my music every day. So that shit did what it did, and I was like, oh shit, bro. Okay, boom. But yeah, it was kind of that situation right there. I'm glad I did it though. I had my boy DSK make the cover. Shout out DSK, and deluxe coming soon though. Or I might just make a part two, but
Can I get on the deluxe?
of course, man. You just gotta send a text, so we gotta get to work. You know?
All right, you got the number. We locked in.
Of course, man.
When it come to like a bunch of the artists you've been working with, were the relationships organic, or was it like mutual friends, or was it a thing of just sending emails and sending DMs?
I don't really send too many emails, but a lot of it's organic and through mutual friends. Obviously, I have friends from different walks of life, you know, and I'm tapped in with all the areas in the city. So it's just a friend, or like, for example, shout out Creek Baby for, you know, connecting me with everybody from Creek, or most of the people from Creek. But you know, like it was just beats, you know, like they heard her records, like, yo, who are these beats? And, you know, she was gracious enough to put me on. And that's how it just formed, you know, through them. And then it just became an organic relationship, and we built a brotherhood. You know, we were in the studio just cooking, but a lot of it is just organic and through mutual friends, family, you know, connections I've made on, you know, outside, you know, just being me. Um, and those are the best connections, because if you have to force it, you know, it starts to get muddy and watered down, you know?
No lie about that. Creek Baby, how did that connection come about? 'Cause I just got hip to her like probably like a month ago, and she's hard.
Yo, I'm gonna tell y'all this right now, bro. With consistency, that is the best female rapper in the city. I'm not even saying that because it's my artist, but I'm saying like she doesn't rap about like the typical female stuff. Like she's a rap about the greasy stuff that can, you know, the boys could play, you know, the man them could play. So
That's why I keep telling the gal them like, if you don't got nothing that the man them want to play,
yeah,
good luck.
she's
Like
not.
the gal them want support, but you want support from everyone.
Yeah, she, you know, she's not rapping about her parts or any type of, you know, the typical female, you know, mainstream shit. Like she's rapping about what she lives, and that's the authentic part. And I think, how did we meet, bro? I wish she was here. I'm gonna bring her on the show,
Please
but
do. I need the exclusive interview.
I think it just happened. Like I don't even. I actually don't remember how we met. I think I just, you know, I just sent her. She was one of the earliest people I worked with. There's a song called "Spaz Out." I hope that's the name of the song. Cause if it's not, she's gonna kill me. But yeah, that song dropped, and we just kept working from there. Like, you know, she was one of my earliest people to take a chance on me, and then, you know, now she only hops on my shit. So it's like that's really my dog. But this year I really want to focus on her. Like this year is the Creek Baby year. Like I want, like, yeah, I do my thing, but I really want to build a concrete boys, like how Lil Yachty has. Like I really want to build a strong foundation with my team, and I want to show people that she's nice, bro. You know, I feel like people don't take her. Oh, she's a girl, whatever, whatever. But it's like, bro, she can really hang with the best of them. So it's like this year, I really want to put a lot of the emphasis on her, get her out there more, and just keep pushing with her, man. Use some of my American connects to, you know, help her flourish. And yeah, bro, this is the year of Creek Baby, man. Like, actually, her mixtape is coming soon. Her debut mixtape is coming soon. I'm excited for that.
My homegirl asked me yesterday if I'm going to the Cardi B concert, and I said, why would I be there? She doesn't make music for me. Now, maybe on her first album, she kind of had shit that the man them fucked with, you know? They had the Bodak Yellow and all that, you know?
Yeah,
She
yeah.
had some shit that was more, we'll call it universal, you know?
Mm.
Either gender could listen to. But the man them right there, I'm not really sure why, but whatever. Maybe they just want to see Cardi, like, you know? Because she look good and shit. But looks can't be the only thing, you know? Like, you got to connect with the people. Like,
For
people got to
sure.
hear your shit and say, I felt that,
For sure.
you know?
For sure.
Like they have to be able to spin that back and say, "You heard that shit?"
Facts. There's a few female artists in the city. Not even just in the city, but there's a few female artists that do that for me.
Taylor.
Taylor G, yo, Double M. Double M is a problem, bro. She's probably my favorite. Her and Goldie, man, it's crazy, bro. From the States, probably Mona Leo. Her punchlines and her wordplay is crazy. I feel like I'm missing someone. Cash Doll. Cash Doll
Yeah,
is
Cash Doll.
hard.
You know who Cash Doll reminds me of? Like she's like a female 2 Chainz.
I hear that. I hear that. I hear that. Yeah, bro. There's a couple of females in the city doing their thing. Yeah, bro. I take it in sometimes, and I'm like, yo, this is yeah. Double M is my personal favorite though.
You worked with her?
Not yet, not yet. Hopefully that's loading up.
All right, so when we post this clip, she gonna know what time it is.
Yeah, bro. Double M is my
No
favorite
excuses.
female artist. I really want to work with her, bro. She reminds me of early Nicki, like mixtape Nicki, like just the bars, the lyricism, her delivery, cold, bro.
As a producer, I be seeing like on producer culture, like the Instagram pages, producer culture and whatever the other ones are called, you know? I be seeing producers be getting a lot of flack for using loops. Do you feel like that should even be a topic?
No, it shouldn't, because bro, before loops there were samples. And before samples, we were taking it from songs. And before songs, it was just like beat break loops. Like if you
Yep.
go back to the 80s, like a lot of producers that are like claiming this stuff don't even like know the essence of beat making in hip hop. It was beatboxing before, and your melody would come from like a song you heard on the radio. Then you just put your little, your little, sauce on it. But like, bro, A&Ring beats is okay to get a placement. Using loops is okay to get a placement. Using a sample is okay to get a placement. Having, like, just, bro, just get your placements, man. It doesn't matter about how it's done. It's just a matter of the credit, bro. I don't question a producer's talent based on if they A&R the beat, they got it from their boy because he had those type of beats and then sent it to the artist. It's still a play, bro. You're still a part of it. Get your money, bro. No one cares. I actually don't care about how the creative process is done. I used to when I was first coming up in the game, but bro, I'm a businessman now, bro. I don't really. Yeah, bro. If you want to use loops, use loops. If you have a ghost producer, you have a ghost producer.
Kind of that's kind of crazy too. For mans to have ghost producers that don't even claim them in public. But if the business is sought out, it's cool.
A
But
ghost writer.
But to me, it's still wild. Like for example, like I got a producer on my team, right? My producer collective is called Crow Gang, right? It just got to the point I was just doing so much I couldn't even keep up with making beats no more. Cause I'm just burnt out.
Well, that's where I am. So I don't even like, not to cut you off, sorry, but I don't even like. Yeah, bro. I just have people that just sometimes I'm cooking up or I'm adjusting things or they're sending me thing and I make the play. But it's just like ghostwriting, bro. If you just, it's like ghostwriting. The ghost producer is the same thing.
I don't think I could let someone ghostwrite for me, at least for my own shit. Like, I had an artist hit me up and say, "Yo, I need a feature from you." After we put up to the suite, said, "Yo, I already got something written for you." I'm like, "All right, let's check it out." I said, "Later reference," and he did. I'm like, "All right, I'll do it," you know. But if it's my song, I don't think I could do it. So,
I mean, it's all about like, and I'm gonna give this tip: like, always try to trade, like, save as much time as possible. So if you know, all right, bro, like I'm writing this hook, I just can't get it. Let me give it to 7, or let me give it to Vegas, and he could deliver to the way that it's a hit, bro. Everyone is still getting paid. I think you kind of gotta take yourself out of being the artist and the producer, and just make the record. Because even if he wrote for you, and you're like, because then you could even add your own sauce to it. Like, yo, I could take this out and put this in there. Boom. I like how you did this, but I don't like the verse. Can I keep this and add? Now you guys are together. He's energized because you're using his shit. You're energized because you're still writing. The song got done in 10 minutes instead of 20.
I've actually tried to get people to like write for me before to see like, can you write for me? And it never ever worked out in my favor.
But you know what I think it is? Like, again, I think like because I have the gift of, and not to toot my own horn, because I know my dad's gonna see this and be like, yo, being a bit too cocky, my bad. But I'm not to toot my own horn, but like I have the gift of like, how do I put it? Like I study the artist, but I add my own, I add my own song. Like I study music to its core. Like my playlist is so, so like I'm able to use different things. So I think the way that you gotta have somebody like right for you is really have them spend time with you, get them to learn you as a person, you as an
Mm-hmm.
artist, and then they could be like, yo, he would use this word, or oh, yo, that's his favorite word right here. Let me say this, or he says this a lot, so let me say it like this, and then that's how you really could lock in. Like, try a producer camp or like a artist camp and just spend time with them, bro. It'll be so much easier to make music.
Have you been to any of those camps before?
Of course, that's how I got my name out there in Atlanta.
Which producer camp did you go to?
3K, who is my manager's wife, she is a very established songwriter, and she hosts camps in Atlanta, Florida, LA. Did she do Houston yet? I'm not sure. But yeah, I got my break in Atlanta through those camps. I killed it out there every single time. Of course, it's me. But yeah, like that's how I really, got my foot in Atlanta, and now my name's just ringing out there. Um yes, but producer camps and songwriter camps are the best way to make connections. So if you are a young producer out there, don't be afraid, bro.
All right, so when we're talking about using loops and stuff like that, right? Have you ever had any issues when it comes to like clearing loops with producers?
Oh, of course, of course, of course.
How wild are we talking?
I've had to pay loop makers out of my own pocket for a record to get cleared, if that makes sense.
I had a situation like that too. Like it was foreign to me. I'm like, what?
Well, I didn't have to do it, but it was a big record with Von off 1700,
Mm-hmm.
and he wanted some type of money for it, and I wasn't willing to. I was like, bro, I'm not willing to have this record not come out. Shout out Bowlegs for putting it together. And I paid him his change that he wanted or was requesting from the label or whatever. And then he didn't bring it up. I'm not sure what he brought up to the main producer on there, but the record's out. So, but I've had to do that a couple times.
I had a producer like for one of my songs. Um, so one of the homies, he made the beat. I rearranged the beat, did some shit to it, mixed it and all that. After I made a song to it, and then I ended up hitting up like the loop maker saying, "Yo, let me get your Soul Cannon for all that." And after he's like, "Yo, you gotta pay me $40 to use the loop." I'm like, $40. I'm like, this is new to me still. Like, is it to own it or lease it? Cause if it's a lease, like, this is kind of confusing me. Like, what are we doing here?
Bro, it's tough, bro, because like even on Lost Files, there was a producer there on the intro track. I had to pay him, and he didn't even like if I didn't tag him um in the post, he wouldn't have even hit me. Like he didn't promote the song or anything.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of felt a way about it because I was like, bro, you're not even really getting placements out here. Like I literally just handed you one. What do you mean I have to pay you? But I kind of just look at it as like I just pay it and move on, bro. Because I'm not gonna sit there and like hold up anything or get my shit taken down. I'm just gonna pay it and move on, bro.
Business over bullshit for sure.
With my dad being in business, and being an entrepreneur himself, he's had to pay it forward, as he likes to say. Yeah, I don't know why loop makers be doing that though. Shit's weird. It's really weird, bro. Glad you handled the situation the way you did, because that's what I would have done. I would have just paid him and moved on.
Yeah, like he still sends me loops. I don't even respond.
Yeah, you don't
I
got.
don't even listen to them at this point. It could be fun. I don't even want to work with you. Like, it is what
Yeah.
it is.
I have a set team of people in Discord that I use, or yeah, I'm in multiple Discords. So if y'all ever want to add me to y'all Discords, just hit me, because I need new loops and beats.
Like, even when it comes to like ghost producers, like I don't have a ghost producer, but I have a producer as part of my team that it got to the point he said, "Yo, I'll be your ghost producer." I said, chill out, chill out. We ain't doing that. Like, we'll just slap the Crow Gang tag on there because that's the team. And whoever's part of the team that has their own individual tag, slap that on there, you know? We're going to make sure your name always gets shine, you know? Shit like that.
Yeah.
Always add them as a main artist as well when the song's released, shit like that, you know? So shout out Milan County. He tried to become my ghost producer, but it's like, you got to relax, fam. I ain't out the game yet.
No, I'm definitely not out the game. I don't have one, but producers do send me beats, and I A&R a lot of beats because, like I said, I'm doing multiple different things throughout the day, multiple different ideas and businesses. So I don't have as much time to make beats as I used to, but I still do. I can do my thing when it comes down to it. But no, I everybody gets their shine. Everybody gets paid. I even give advances personally out of my pocket if I feel like, you know, yeah, like I have a great reputation for putting people on, helping them out, giving them a chance, and just working, bro. I don't care if you have 0 followers. If you can make beats in their heart, I'll help you. You know what I'm saying? Um, I think too many people look at the credits and pictures and followers. Like I don't care about that stuff for real.
Yeah, that don't really mean nothing. It looked good, but that's about it. More times,
Yeah, I mean, especially in the city, there's a lot of people who have a lot of followers, and you go look at their, how their music is running, and it's like, oof, So followers is just fluff to me.
Have you ever heard of, what's it called? Is it called Song Stats? It's a website or an app that you could use where you could actually look up someone's like stats for their music. There's streaming numbers on every app. How many followers they have, see
that for myself.
See the radio stations it's getting played on, shit like that, The
playlist
is getting added to. The playlist is getting added to on Apple Music and Spotify. How many plays is getting from there? So there's been a couple artists that have high numbers in the city, and they were talking crazy. And I said, I don't think I want to pay you what you're asking. I decided to look up their stats. Yeah, your numbers don't add up. They don't add up across the boards. Like, this is all bots.
A lot of them don't, bro. Oh, shit, chat. I'm kind of doing all right. Nah, I'm using this on everybody, yo. Yo, I'm using this on everybody. A lot of these men are getting, like, free distribution or, like, different deals. But shout out to everybody that's doing their thing, though, man. I'm not gonna hate. It's just don't act like you're bigger than the next person because we're all trying to do something,
All right, so you got an ATL connection. You said through your manager and his wife, right?
Yeah, shout out Rue, shout out 3K, shout out the Circle, Small Circle, Big Dreams, Circle Management,
What would you say the differences are when it comes to Toronto and Atlanta in the music scene?
My dad calls it USB. Everything is just faster out there. They move faster, more efficient. The welcomeness. Like shout out Jay Fizzle and Paper Route Empire, the whole crew. My first big session was with Jay Fizzle, and I think that was the turning point in my life and career where I was like, okay, like the brass ring is this close. I could grab it now, the pause. But
were you engineering or just producing?
We made a song together, and that was my first time.
Wait, when you say made a song, like you were rapping on it?
Nah. I was it was a record from my album. I made the beat with my boy G Code. I don't know where G Code is at, but shout out my boy G Code. But yeah, it was my first big record with a really established artist. As you know, Jay Fizzle is signed to Young Dolph, Paper Route Empire. But yeah, it was a huge record that we did. Hasn't dropped yet. But that was everything is just faster and more efficient. And they're just friendly people, bro. Like, a lot of these guys in the city or people in the city, have to want to act a certain way or try to play a certain role. But these guys are really in whole wars, losing people. And they were chill, offered food, everything. They weren't so uptight like it is over here. Like, it's just faster, a lot more welcomeness, and, like, opportunities bigger out there, man. I feel like people gotta travel, bro. You'll expand your mind, You'll expand where you want to take yourself in life, and there's just more opportunity out there. But I love Atlanta. It's like my second home, man.
The next time you hit Atlanta, I got a homegirl out there. Like she's a chef for real. Tay Eats. She cold, so that's a plug right there.
She's an artist or
no, she's a chef.
Oh, catering.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm saying last time I was out there, I made sure I got my rice and peas, jerk chicken, fried chicken, macaroni pie, all that.
That's the one thing I'll say. Toronto has better food.
She's actually from New York though, but she's Jamaican, so that's the difference.
Okay.
So like I don't know what Atlanta food was really like.
It's just kind of the same shit, bro. You go to each restaurant, soul food. We have a bit more of the variety from different cultures in the melting pot that we have here, but I still like it though. This is it. It's still one of my favorite restaurants, man. Shout out Atlanta food though.
Okay.
In my personal opinion, Toronto is definitely better.
All right. So what's your background?
I am Guyanese, Nigerian, and Ghanaian. And my stepmom was Jamaican still.
All right, so I'm Ghanaian and Jamaican. So, One day it could be jollof, the next day it might be rice and peas.
I'm a jollof man still, but that's based off of the person who cooks it. Cause some people cook it, and I'm just like, yeah, I'm not eating this.
Would you bring a shorty to a African restaurant for a first date?
Not really, cause I don't go there too tough. Like
Okay.
I'm on whatever the girl's on. Really, like she's like, oh, I want to go here. Boom.
If she want a $300 date for the first date, that's how you're on it?
If you're going on a date, expect to go over 100.
Yeah, definitely over 100 for sure.
But like, if I like you, I don't mind. If I'm really like, that's the thing. Like, guys are taking girls on dates that don't like them.
Yeah.
That's the problem with the whole like the culture and everything. Like, guys are taking girls on dates that don't like them. So then it's like, oh, you're asking me for money and this, that. It's because they never liked you, bro. Like the girls that I talk to, like of course they like money and nice things, but they don't lead with that. You know what I'm saying? So, but with me, like I said, at least the girls that I talk to, or the girl that I'm talking to now, the bill comes up at 300.
That was a nice cleanup right there.
Yeah, like if I'm talking to someone and there's mutual attraction and everything, if the bill came up to $300, I'd be like, what the hell did I order? Or why did I allow it to go so far? But I'd pay it still.
Okay.
You're not paying that?
A first date, I don't know about all that.
Yeah.
I mean, we might be locked in before the date, though.
Yeah, that's how it usually goes. I'm
know?
not locking in with you on like they're trying to lock in with you on the first day. Like we're talking for a minute.
Word. Like, it gotta be like that for real. Like,
Bro, I'm very particular about what girls I talk to, like follower count. Girls I talk to don't go outside, really. Everything is mindset to me. I like the females that get tired, stay in the crib, be bored, and just be like, I'm very particular, bro. I don't date girls that host events or
yep.
none of that, bro. Literally, all the females that, except for one that I speak to, bro, like they have low follower accounts, barely post on social media.
Private account on top of that.
Yeah. But again, I just feel like guys like blatantly choose the wrong girls because they look good.
Every chance they get.
Yeah.
And then they be crashing out at the house.
Yeah, it's like no duh. She wants to see what she can get from you, bro. She never liked you in the first place. Bro, some of these first date TikToks I see are hilarious, bro. Cause they really be debating on what they would do on a first date. I know what I would do, but they be over here tripping. I mean, like the man's be like sending their girls black trucks on first dates, and I'm just like, I will only do that for comfortability. Obviously, I shout out my driver John, but yeah, I have him, I have a couple others, but I do that because obviously to fit my wheelchair in there, it's just comfortable. I don't have to call another Uber, but sending them like on Uber to pick them up in the black truck, paying I think what Escalade XL price. That is like, what are you doing, bro? First link and everything.
A lot of these dudes be going broke, and we know exactly why. All type of tricking gone wild.
I'm not gonna sit here and lie. Like when I'm locked in with a girl or I like a girl, we mutually like each other. We spend money on each other.
That ain't tricking.
But I mean, I think I'm giving too much game for the girls, but I think that's a lost art because now they're telling you they want money from you. Like, I believe that how it's done is you're supposed to make the guy think, yo, I'm the only one she's talking to. Whole time is not that. Like making a guy feel comfortable is how you get the money out of them. Telling them what can you do for me, they're immediately not gonna give you the money, or they might. It depends on how stupid they are.
My PTSD just kicked in.
I triggered you. Oh, my bad. G.
Y'all them wicked.
My bad. But nah, my advice to everyone is, bro, just you get your money, bro. You can pick whoever you want, bro.
Word.
Literally Wu-Tang, bro. Cash rules everything around me, bro.
One of the most important things I've heard in my life is love who loves you.
Yeah, man. And the only thing that loves you is the dollar bill. So go get that, man.
Shout out Cronem.
Right now, I love the music scene in Toronto. I think a couple years ago, I was a bit turned off by it. I think it was a bit too raw for me, like in terms of the delivery. Some guys were like slightly on and off beat, but this new wave of Toronto, bro, yeah, bro, this is hot, bro. I do wish there was a more like lyrical like trap anthems, like how Roni was back in the day, or how Roni raps now, Top Gunna. So many talented guys that could rap, bro. There's not really those like lyrical street anthems anymore. Like, like lyrical guys that,
Like the Heartless G's.
yeah, like Pangs, them and they're just, But they're the new wave of like this wavy, like, I don't know what to call it, but like the 100 band plan sound, I'll say, like Casper. This new sound is fire, bro. And there's a lot of music I'm enjoying, man, from the scene. A lot of music I'm enjoying. I like this new wave. I'm in full support. Something that I would change, I feel like a lot of the blogs are like, you're only pushing guys that are like, oh, this guy said something about this guy. This guy just got arrested. This guy just, like, bro, just promote the music, man. Like, literally just, and find new artists who are dope and be like, yo, like, this guy just dropped a track. Yo, everyone check this. Like how Academics used to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Some of my favorite rappers I found on Academics' page from this post. So, blog positivity. And I want more content creation out there. There's not enough YouTubers. There's not enough, like content creators who are making content, like how we could find the Pretty Boy Fredos and the, them like the Duke Dennises, like, or just, different type of people. Where the gamers at, like, and there needs to be more events for all of us. Like a content creation event would be dope, where it's just like a hub full of people who create content, do different things, hair, nails, whatever it is, So that, and I also think just support overall. More events for us. That's what it is. More events for us. If there was more events for us, I want to meet new people.
The blogs. It's a lot of fuckery they be posting. A lot.
Even just.
But I get it though, because the negativity spreads so much quicker and gets way more engagement. But it's like,
I hear it, bro. But especially I go through it a lot with Creek Baby. Like, they'll bring her up on live to bring up something or whatever happened. And it's like, bro, she just dropped a hot new song. Like, why don't we talk about that? But it is what it is, bro. You're like you said, it spreads faster, negativity. So
shit, if you just block out the bullshit, block out the noise, and just keep pushing with the talent, the right one's going to stay locked in and tapped in.
For sure.
Can't end up on crash out timing because that's what they want us to.
I don't even believe in crashing out anymore. Like, I just, once you master emotional regulation, you're, and there's a lot of lessons my dad taught me. Like, I look up to my dad, he's someone that I try to model after or try to he set the standard. So I'm just trying to pass it or even meet it, So there's a lot of times where, I could maybe spaz out or I could do this, but because of my dad's always taught me, emotional regulation and always just being a master of be in control of yourself. No need to crash out, bro. And just reading books too, bro. 48 Laws of Power will teach you could win without crashing out.
Shout out Cronem.
But how many songs would you say you probably have in your catalog released right now? It's a lot, y'all.
Nah, it's not that many. That's why I'm like maybe 20, like 24, 18, 24, around there. I'm very selective with music. I like things done a particular way. I like to set things up with momentum. So it's like, it's hard for me to stay consistent. And I go in and out of waves of wanting to be consistent or be involved with music. Sometimes I prefer business. So it's just trying to find a balance. And things got to play out a certain way. But yeah, I hope to drop more music with my artists. So should be about 50 by the end of this year.
Okay. What's the most meaningful song you got in your catalog you would say that's released right now?
To me, it's Stand on Business with THF Lil Law, because that was my first that was my first release where it was my song, like on a DJ Khaled thing where it's my song, I made the beat. He just, it's going on I'm the main artist, and it did 500,000 views and went crazy. So I didn't think, of course, when you're first releasing that first song, you're always like, yo, this might flop, da-da-da. So that's really the most meaningful song to me ever, because it's just like, I didn't know what it was going to do. And I thank all my supporters and everybody that streamed it. Shout out to Law, that's big bro for looking out. But yeah, that's the most meaningful song. As accomplished as people think I am, I feel like I'm nowhere near like a lot of my producer friends have Grammys, went platinum, charted. Like I haven't even a million streams. I haven't even, so like yeah, I'm doing well, but bro, there's a whole another like realm to climb. But see, the hardest part of my music journey, keeping everybody happy. Like managing artists, being an artist yourself is hard, because
Don't get me started.
like I said, I'm a businessman first, so there's always things that are in play behind the scenes that I don't tell them. So sometimes I can't be in the studio with them, and they might feel like, yo, damn, he's doing all this other shit, posting on with all these cars, drip, all this, but damn, like where was my time, So it's just that balance and everything, keeping everybody happy, whether it's my manager, whether it's the distro label people. I also like realizing that nobody understands my vision for real, for real. Like they understand my vision, but like not all the way, because the only person that's gonna understand your vision is you. So it's having to convince people like, yo, I'm not crazy, bro. Like I know when I drop an album this way or when I add these artists on here, it's gonna do numbers. Like, yeah, it might be a crazy cost up front, or this studio might be 4 hours away, but I know, and like I know in my brain it's gonna work. So really just convincing people to trust your vision, really.
You really went to a studio that's 4 hours away?
It wasn't as far as I said, but just
Okay.
taking the sacrifice to do something, because my dad sacrifices a lot to bring me here, you know what I'm saying? So sometimes I might look like, yo 7, bro, like you're killing me, bro, but it's like in my head I already know the play is gonna work. It's just getting everybody to stay on board and like believe in it as crazy as I do, because I feel like to get to even just any position, whether it's mine or someone else's, you have to be slightly crazy and delusional about how successful you believe you could become. With the 2 tapes I'm working on, I have to fly back and forth to Atlanta. I have to get these artists in the studio, and people might be looking at me like, yo, this is a crazy task at hand, but I know when it's done, it's gonna be like life-changing. So, and I think that's a thing with a lot of producers, not to ramble, sorry guys, but I feel like a lot of producers are like, yo, like, I can get these placements, but I don't know about this, I'm not there yet. Or like, I'm never gonna get paid, or just, just different things. You have to be crazy and believe it, bro. Like Kanye, bro. But yeah, those are the 2 things that are hard on my music journey, and consistency, balancing working and then my personal life, whether that's relationships with females, friends, I try to enjoy it and not burn out, but it's hard though. But yeah, love it nonetheless.
What's one mistake you've made as a new producer when you first started? Or a mistake you see a lot of new producers making?
I was discussing this with my boy Rels, shout out Rels Prod, on the phone, and I was telling him that I was just happy to be there at one point. I wasn't stabilizing my vision at all. Like I wasn't like, okay, I'm flying back and forth to Atlanta, but how do I capitalize on this and how do I sustain this? Because momentum picks up and goes. And I say, so in my opinion, 2023 was my hottest year. I'm gonna get hotter, of course, but that was a year that when I look back on, I should have been like, okay, let me slow down. How do I capitalize on this? How do I strategically move? I was just happy to be there. I was a new play, bro. I went from nobody hearing my beats for real to the whole Atlanta hearing my beats. So it was just like crazy. But stabilization is one thing, and getting your business in order, bro. I didn't get my publishing in order till later. That's probably one of my biggest mistakes ever. But yeah, that and stabilization. A thing that I see producers do a lot of is just staying too intact with the producer community, like in the drama, being in too many group chats, trying to click up too much. Cause when something goes wrong, these producers will cut you out, will bash you, will quick to pay producer culture to post you online. Like just find your circle, find your niche, and stick to that, bro. All these 7 producers on one loop, 6 producers on one beat, 10 producers on one beat, like no need for that. Yeah, just be yourself, bro.
All right, so we see like on social media, like the producer culture is extremely toxic, but you can find some pockets where it's very welcoming and it's chill, it's good business, So in your opinion, like from your experience, how important is social media?
I always tell people, like, I promote myself like an artist. Like, I live just like an artist. Like, photo shoots, the cars, the clothes, all that shit is important, bro. I look at myself, or 4sevyn, as a WWE wrestler. I love the showmanship of The Rock, Ric Flair, all these guys, Stone Cold Steve Austin. They're great at capturing the crowd. Like, you look at Muhammad Ali, the way that he speaks, you know what I'm saying? Like, his catchphrases, everything. Like, all that's important. Your social media presence is just as important as you're producing. If not, I think it's more important, because that's what the labels look at. That's why I tell these guys, and a lot of them don't listen to me, but I tell these guys, like, take proper photos. Like, don't be posting like you and your dog in there. Like, clean your Instagram up, really get it, make yourself look professional. Social media is so important because you could branch off to an entire brand deals, clothing deals, all this different stuff, bro. Like, that's where the money is. It's actually not even in the beat making and the music. It's social media.
On the business side of shit, can people come to you for leases, or do you only do exclusives?
I'm gonna let y'all in on just a little bit of sauce. Okay, I don't necessarily sell beats anymore. If I mess with you as an artist, or if you come to me as an artist and you're doing good numbers, I just say, yo, put me on your Spotify as the primary or the secondary artist, so that it shows up on my Spotify, my streams go up, and I get paid. Like, I think the art of selling beats is dead to me, because, well, producers don't make themselves as valuable anymore. A lot of these guys are selling beats for $30.
Let me tell you some of the wildest shit I've seen before. You may have seen it too at some point. I remember seeing a producer like have an ad on the gram like a couple of years ago. He used to like run this play, 100 beats for like $100. I said, what?
And that's why, like, I'm always trying to preach to producers, like, please, like, have a long-term play involved. If you're gonna do 100 beats for $100, hey, bro, let me get like extra percentages on the song, something. But doing the wrong shit, bro. Like, why are you selling beats to, I don't know, Boston Richie for $45? Because when I come to him and I say, yo, it's $1,000 for the beat, he's gonna look at me and be like, yo, Brody just gave me a fire red beat for 45.
Okay, so go back to him.
It's messing up the game, because back in the day, beats used to be
100,000.
Timberland said he charged, I don't know who it was. I think it might have been DMX. Don't quote me on that, but it's $500,000. 100,000 for one beat. Scott Storch was making M's off beats, right? So it's like, producers have just undervalued themselves. So I'm always preaching to producers and trying to help out as much as I can. We have to just bring that value back. But I don't really sell beats anymore. I'm building more of a portfolio on my channels and Spotify with them and getting the streams, because that's the long-term money. I get
forever money.
Paid from I get paid from United Masters every month. You get paid every, DistroKid, TuneCore, whatever it is. Use the streaming services to your advantage, man. Selling beats is done, bro. Because you don't have to justify your price, right? If you sell it to $250, when they can go and search up Drake type beat and it's $45. Truthfully, if they lease it on YouTube and it blows and it does 100K views, they don't have to come back to you and tell you that the video's done 100K views, because they're so concerned on the immediate sale, they're not going to follow up and do business. If you're out there making a killing on beats and BeatStars,
more power to you.
Yeah, like, I think selling beats is dead.
Yeah, I do agree. I don't even sell beats like that these days. I just be sending packs to the homies I'm already locked in with.
Yeah. Defo.
But if you want to pay me, like, you could pay me. Like, I ain't tripping.
No, of course.
I'll take the money.
There's some, now, I am kind of not exaggerating, but stretching it a little bit, pause, by saying that beat selling is dead, because I do make occasional sales, but that's really once in a blue moon, for people that want to buy beats. But yeah.
Let's look a little bit into the future. Where do you see yourself in the next 2 years?
I hope that both of my major projects are somewhat complete, and I see myself really taking the clothing game by storm, and just pushing my artists. Like, these next 2 to 3 years is all about Creek Baby, Don Jella, Pierre Billionaire, everybody I mentioned, Straight Cash when he gets out, all the artists I work with. But yeah, like, just developing her, Latrix as well. Just developing my artists, man. Just that's it. Just making them a powerhouse in the city, and getting into acting, directing my own short films and movies. Really, just building an empire, a global empire that inspires kids with special needs and inspires people around the world. That's really it. But where do you see yourself into?
I'm gonna get back in artist mode for real. Be pushing. Cronem show is gonna be bigger than what we're doing right now. We move around the states too. We're gonna be international Cronem. We're gonna be all over the place with it. I might have a clothing brand started by then too. Like, I got merch, but I don't consider merch a clothing brand. Like, shit. Shout out to a tour hustle. I'm wearing this shit right now.
I was kind of eyeing the hoodie. No Diddy. Like, that's yours?
Nah, this is my homegirl's brand. She's from Toronto.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna tap in with that for my next video or social content you see. That's my car talk show, digital hustle media. I will be wearing something from this brand. Probably, I like this. The money and I like that right there.
Wait, you said car talk show?
Yeah, it's a car talk show I have developing where I'm talking to different producers and entrepreneurs in the car and just getting game, educating people on how to collect their publishing and all that other stuff.
Well, I can't wait to get on there.
Yeah, bro. So I want to get back to the community. I love doing it, helping smaller producers, getting game from bigger producers, and just helping the people, man.
Like, what happened to producer grind? Because I feel like that's where we all went for game at some point, and then they just disappeared.
I can't speak on that exactly. I used to have my dad spend money on them drum kits at Producer Grind, bro. I used to get all the drum kits, bro. I had my dad's card ringing off, bro. I used to have it. I was begging him for new kits from Producer Grind all the time. What a legendary empire and group that they built over there. Shout out to Producer Grind. You guys changed my life, educated me on so many things. But I think the producer community is toxic, so they will find any peg to knock you down on, bro. Like, they build you up to break you back down. My producer Rico is probably on the, it's loading up. Someone's gonna say something about me, but
Your producer Rico is crazy.
that's what it is. That's what they do to these producers, bro. They build you up, and all of a sudden, you're on the blogs, and it's 100,000 likes and all type of shit.
A lot of these producers be scamming too, though. Like, it's wild.
I was gonna say that earlier. Stop paying these big producers for collabs. Please don't do it. Please. Well, okay. I'm not gonna say that entirely. Make the budget reasonable. I mean, all right. Don't be paying it's $150 for the collab and then another $150 for me to send you. Like, no, he's hustling you, bro. Just, if it's a reasonable price, go ahead and do it. I'm not gonna knock anybody. I think there is great opportunities out there for all you guys, but please stop getting hustled by these big guys, man. You don't need to do that. You don't need to pay me for collabs as well. I want to build, work with y'all, really give y'all a chance, but please stop paying $400 or $500 for collabs. Please. They're scamming.
Have you ever been scammed by a producer?
Nope. Like I said, I just work with a team of people. Shout out the circle. Shout out everybody I've worked with, but I don't really reach out to, I feel like I'm the NBA young boy of the producer community. I don't really reach out to too many mans, bro. Just doing my own thing. But there is a lot of that going on. I don't know how it started. I don't know who started it. But there's still a lot of good folks out there doing good business. So, you just got to find the right ones. But who started that scamming other producers? Shit, I don't know. I'm seeing it a lot now, but where did it actually start?
I want to say it started during the pandemic, but it definitely started before that.
It was more prevalent during the pandemic.
Yeah.
There was one guy, I'm not going to say his name, but...
Pyrex Whipper.
No, not even him. And he's one of my favorite producers.
Yo, he's one of the reasons I'm telling you.
I used to watch his lives, bro.
Like, how did you make that beat in 5 minutes?
Well, I make beats in 5 to 10, so now I understand. But shout out Pyrex Superman. But it wasn't him. It wasn't even him. And I was kind of defensive when he got posted. I was like, I didn't want to believe it. But there was one guy, he was selling a course. And yeah, mans were just saying, yo, the course was bullshit.
Wait a minute.
I ain't gonna say his name, but he was definitely selling a course out there.
There's 2 guys, and I think I know which one it is, though.
Yeah, you probably do. I'll show you his Instagram after.
Brick by brick.
Definitely bricks.
Yeah, I think my dog actually signed up for that shit. I'm like, how much are you charging? And he told me, I'm like,
Fam.
where are you getting from this exactly?
Fam.
I'm like, I don't know.
But mind you, I was one of those young, gullible kids who just wanted to make it so bad. I almost had my dad pay for that course, bro.
Yo, my dog's beats were already crazy at the time, though. I'm like, I'm not really sure where you're supposed to be getting from this, but we're gonna see.
I just wanted to get in the door. Like, bro, that's how they're catching these producers. Because I was once like that, where I just wanted to win so bad, where I was gonna pay what kid, whatever thing. That's how they're getting them. They're going after the hungry ones with no placements, or maybe 1 or 2. Once you get one big placement, that high is a high. It's like dope. It's like crack. Like once you get a placement, bro, you can't come back down from that. You're gonna chase it for the rest of your life. A big one at that.
Yeah, stop the scamming.
Please
stop the scamming.
Please.
Like, they need to actually start producer recalls for real for all the scamming producers.
It would be making me sad because it's these young producers who are really talented and who, like they might have just got their first laptop from their parents, or like they finally convinced their parents to believe in their dream. Because I was fortunate enough to where my dad is involved in hip hop. Like I come from a family of music, with my African and Caribbean background. But my dad used to be a DJ. So, he understands the late night studio sessions and going to these studios and, even doing interviews. So it's like, I'm fortunate enough to have that. But a lot of, parents are like, yo, music, like, okay. Because, bro, like, you could spend a lot of money in music and make nothing. Mm-hmm. And it's not like a 9 to 5 where if you fail, you can come back tomorrow and make money, bro. If you don't, you eat what you kill, basically.
Real shit.
But yeah, bro, it's just sad because a lot of these guys get their first little go, and then what we need to start is building a producer community that allows them to get new, like, opportunities. Like, imagine a big Discord of up and coming producers, and it's filled with opportunities. Like, I would like to come together with a few producers, and I'm saying this now, but I would like to build a huge Discord, whether it's your homies and you and other people, where we just give back to the producer community of genuine producers, not the, and let's really build a strong force, yo.
Shout out Cronem.
When I was listening to your project Lost Files, I was really more so taking in the beats because I'm trying to get a feel of your producer style, It's like I can't necessarily put you in a box, you know what I mean?
I gotta give props to my family and my dad. My dad really gave me the essence of hip hop from the 90s to Wu-Tang, Tribe Called Quest, 50, Eminem. Bro, there's so many artists. Jay-Z, Mobb Deep.
All these names you're naming, they gave a feeling.
Beanie Siegel.
And they still stick with us to this day. You know what I seen earlier today? I seen a post saying that Feel It in the Air by Beanie Siegel is a song that people in Philly slow dance to. I said, holy shit.
You know what's crazy? I think when I was younger, that was the first song that I could cognizantly remember. My dad used to play that in the whip all the time. That and Every Day I'm Hustling by Rick Ross. And a bunch of like early Rich Homie Quan. My dad's hip to everything. Like he plays all the new stuff, but he be putting me on to a lot of artists. But the reason, when it comes to just beats, it's just music as education. I listen to soul music, Anita Baker, Sade, AZ, Nas, everybody. Beats from DJ Premier, Havoc, J Dilla, The Alchemist.
Alchemist nasty to this day.
Just Blaze, Heat Seekers.
Wait, no, Heat Makers.
Heat Makers, sorry. Don Cannon, DJ Woo Kid.
He's not a producer, he's just a DJ.
Nah, he has some sleeper beats. He makes a 1-2 beat. There's a couple. I don't know how he got into the production credits. That is none of my business.
Was it like earlier on or later on?
It was like the G Unit mixtape era.
I had no clue he made beats back then.
Yeah, he's got a few, but yeah, bro, just a lot of old school music that my dad put me on. My mom was huge into R&B and like the soul, and then my grandma, both my grandparents were big into like soca, being Guyanese, and then the Afro and the High Life, I believe it's called.
Hip life?
Hip Life, yeah. My nana used to run that. So it's just everything. But really, that tape doesn't even bring as much expansion as I would like in terms of justifying my sound. Because I make house beats, EDM, rock music, everything. I like the Beatles, Led Zeppelin, everything. I can make all those type of beats. So that tape is just a small sample, really. I don't like making trap beats.
Shout out Cronem.
All right, so today we're running a new segment called Wrong Answers Only. How you feeling about that?
Let's do it. I'm interested. Let's see.
What's the biggest lie in the music industry?
All artists are rich?
Are producers underpaid?
No.
All right, that's a good answer. It goes straight to the point. When it comes to Toronto and New York, who has the better sound?
New York.
I hear you. What makes an artist difficult to work with?
They come to the studio prepared.
Is $50 and 0% on the publishing a good deal for the producers?
Absolutely. Take it without consulting your lawyer.
And this is the Cronem Show. This is where we give the best advice.
Yes, sir, man. Y'all don't even need lawyers, man. Just take the deals.
Like, what you gonna give a lawyer some of that percentage for? You already not getting none?
Yeah, bro. You might as well just, don't even consult your lawyer, man. Just take the deal, get the money up front, blow it all in the first month. They'll definitely pay you more.
You know what I'm saying? And make sure you get some good water when you go home, because you're gonna need it.
Yeah.
After all the tears you cry, you're gonna need to get replenished.
We need to start drinking more water on a serious note, man. Water is essential, man.
It's crazy to me when I hear people say that water is nasty, only drink juice or soda.
I seen a TikTok where a man replaced a shot with water, and they were like, "Ew, what is this?" Yo, I was crying laughing, man. I was crying laughing.
Yeah, we don't hang out with people like that.
Shout out Cronem.
All right, it's the Cronem Show. Creek Baby, we waiting on you to pull up with 4sevyn, the biggest, No Diddy. And yeah, we out.
Yes, sir, man.
Shout out Vegas and Gutsy and
Yeah, shout out
the rest of the
Vegas,
GTV, man, them and y'all them.
Gutsy. I'm trying to get an episode with everybody on here, so someone gotta make that happen, man. Make sure Tia's sitting beside me, man.
Nah.
Yeah, man. We out, man. We out.